Hey y'all, how are y'all doing? Mr. Commentator here, back with another video. And yeah, I wanted to do another weekly recap of how my options trading is going, specifically selling options. And yeah, last week I covered the last two previous weeks of my journey. And in that I discussed about my first week, how it went really well, and then my second week where I had a major setback. And now we're on the third week. And so this is the year-to-date performance. I'm back up on all green. We're up 2%, which is all-time as well. But in the past week, I've made approximately $25, which is another percent. So what I'm aiming for here, now that I've actually had a structure to this, and it's still developing, and I'll make sure to talk about it in future videos. But now I'm growing into a 1% a week type of guy instead of a 1% a day or 1% every 2 days. And my options trading certainly does reflect that. As you can see here, all of these contracts, they expire tomorrow, and before I showcased some options, in my last video there were options that expired the next day or the next 2 days, and I certainly did have a trade that expired in 2 days. Let me pull up the screener here. And today I want to walk you guys through some of my trades and how I've changed from previously. So it all began the previous week. Yeah, it began with these. Well, no, it started and ended with these trades. So as you can see, I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. I took one trade for every day of the week, and I did that before too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. And this is crazy because there's only 5 trading days in a week, and I took 7 trades. And you can see that didn't end out quite well. I chased high premiums because I knew what I did wrong when I had to close one for a loss. I ignored the Greeks, and of course Fed Chair Powell was speaking. So I was down about 1.3% from the previous week, and this week we are making it back, and we have made it back. Not quite to the 47 level here, but when Adobe reaches 100%, when these two reach 100%, when they expire, I think it'll put me at around the 45 level. We'll check on the premiums that I collected. But here's one of the trades that expired in one day. I took it on Monday, because I don't like to, because I was still working up the courage to do a weekly options trade, and I found that the weekly options trading risk, it's heavy on the ETFs, at least in my opinion. The way I see it, it's heavy on the ETFs, but on individual stocks, although it seems kind of counterintuitive, it works for me, and it worked this week, and hopefully it'll work next week too. But on QQQ, it was a call credit spread. Again, first trade of the week after a bad one, so I went really, really conservative. Because if on the 26th here on QQQ, let me go on the daily charts. On the 26th, Monday, June 26th, the high was 364 and the low was 357. So that means, I was, what is 372? I was right nearly at the top of the Bollinger Band. I wanted to go out of the Bollinger Band because that's what I did with some of these other trades here. But after that, the premium was literally like dead. So I settled for the least, and and this was also a learning experience. This was the second trade that I let expire, and before I was able to buy back all of my trades and close it for a profit, and I said, like, some of these trades were up 100% yesterday because it took a little bit of a dip, especially at market open. So I tried to buy back the Nvidia one, and then Tesla, and then it wasn't filling, so I was like, okay, whatever, they're already up 50%, so there's really no point in closing it out or buying back. We'll just let it expire on Friday. So that's the plan. All of these are gonna expire worthless, and I'll get to keep my total premium instead of sacrificing $3 for all these things. And you've also noticed that this week I only took single credit spreads, and this is because, again, back with the ETFs versus the individual stocks, there wasn't, the IV on SPY it's you feel me, it's down. So I didn't even bother trading SPY because the ranges in which I wanted to open up a contract, although it was viable, it just wasn't worth my time. Like if we go in here, let's see, the theta, it's probably a bad example, but if we go to June 30th, and if I go to sell let's see what trend it's kind of consolidating, so I'd probably still sell a put. Where is it? If I go into sell a put, let's see here, let's scroll down. Okay, it would have to be out of the Bollinger Band, and this is already at 422. It's only $2, and if I put that out to July 3rd, and I don't do over the weekend trades, I like to recollect myself, you feel me? Although $4 isn't even that bad, if I just structure this trade right, and if I bought the next one down, come on. Wait, and you know what, let's go a week out. What is next week's ending date? The 7th. 422. Keep in mind it wouldn't be 422, because let's just take a look at the Greeks here. Yeah, delta gamma is high. I learned a lot about gamma risk from the following last week, so this week I'll show you guys all the Greeks for the trades I took. The gamma was relatively low, and I made sure it stayed low, because boy oh boy. So this, come on, bro, $4 for a whole 8 days. The IV's shit, so that's why I haven't bothered. Anyway, back to the contract. So all of these were call credit spreads, just because we're kind of, it was looming. Let's go on back into auto here, so everything's the same. So on QQQ on the 26th, I saw it take the dip, so that's why I took the call credit spread. And then on Nvidia had a rough week, brother. This shit was tripping. Again, on Monday, everything took a dip, and then my moving averages were pointing down, so it was just kind of no-brainer. And I don't know, consensus seems to be with the new 4060 that Nvidia's kind of lagging, so that's why I took the call credit spreads, and I took two of them, one at 475. And since the contract from QQQ expired the next day on the 28th, since I had my $200 of collateral returned, I opened up another contract on Nvidia, which I'm never doing again, and I'll tell you why. But to make the premium worthwhile, I had to go lower in strike, which is another mistake I'm never making again. And technical analysis, it also got better. Last time I didn't get to show you guys where I went wrong with my technical analysis, because it was a mess. I had 10 of these lines, maybe 15, mapped out at every single level. And if you're a day trader, if you're a IDT trader, intraday trader, that might be useful. But for someone who's only selling options, it's not that beneficial. I mean, yeah, if you're buying options, of course, but if you're selling it, you kind of just remain in the background and let time decay or theta work its magic. So I opened up a 450, and this one was where it got a little choppy, because this one stayed positive all week, but this one, since there was volatility again with it moving up and down here, this one was -$2, -$1. I think for this one, I don't remember the premium, so it was only $4. So yeah, I was already at -200% the day after I opened it. But then we are back up now. Yeah, it's at 100% anyway. So that's why I took call credit spreads on Nvidia. And these red boxes here, these reflect the earnings weeks. And if it's so, I've done it for every single one of these securities here. I will not trade this week whatsoever. Like, Powell was bad enough, and that guy, he affects the S&P, but earnings alone, because my first time trading, my first time selling options on Virgin Galactic, I know I shouldn't have done it, but I was still learning. I traded for 3 weeks. I made around $17 in profit. And then the fourth week was its earnings week, and I did not know that. And at the time, Virgin Galactic was trading around $6 a share, so I was selling 5.5 puts. On earnings week, I sold another 5.5 put, and they completely shit their pants with the earnings call. And the price, it broke 5.5. I went in the money. I was assigned, and then the weeks after that just kept falling to like 3, and then recently they hit 2.98, but they're back up now. I think they had their flight today, and the stock, I don't think, is still back up, which is how you know it's a shit stock. Even though the company might not be all that bad, I don't want to hate on them because I love space tourism. I'd like to go on it one day, but yeah, the stock itself is just shit. But yeah, so I'm not trading during earnings. I mapped this out like yesterday on Adobe as well. Adobe I might trade because this one is on Tuesday. When is Nvidia? There's on Wednesday, so I won't be trading Nvidia. I might open up an Adobe position the following Wednesday, which I know I just said I won't do, but it'll be the first one, so it can't really be much. Tesla, I think, is on a Monday. Yeah. So Tesla, I could open up on a Tuesday, and it would still go well. Meta, I haven't opened up a contract on Meta yet, just because the premiums were looking kind of dry, and all my collateral was tied up anyway, so I didn't want to do too much. But yeah, we've covered Nvidia. Let's go to Adobe here, and Adobe is interesting. So they're still in an uptrend, which is why I decided to sell a put. And usually I like to go out of my Bollinger Bands, but like at 415, there was nothing for you at that level, and I like to go out of the Bollinger Bands. And so yeah, there wasn't anything for me, because if we go to 415, it's $1. So ain't nothing there for us, which is why I went with the 450 strike. And Adobe has relatively good bid and asks. And today, actually, this one went negative on the bid, and I've still yet to. I saved a video to my watch later. I'm gonna watch it after I'm done recording this. But this was up around. I saved the image to my phone. Let's see. Okay, wait. It looks like wait. It's on my story. It was up 855.56%. I was up $77. When I opened up my Robinhood account this morning, I was like so shocked. Because hold on, it should probably show in pre-market hours, yeah? No, it doesn't show it. Because it was so short-lived. I think it was like for like 1 minute. And it was right at the opening bell. I was up $70, and I gradually saw it tick down here. And then, the rest of the day just went on. But Loki, let's check the bid and asks right now. Okay, so it's back up to a normal level, but the theta decay on this isn't working as well as I'd like it to. We're almost there. Yeah, so that's why I took the 450 strike. I like to keep my delta. So this is, you know what? No. I'm not gonna say that, because when you reveal a strategy, it just doesn't work. So maybe in future videos. And then Tesla. I've always wanted to avoid Tesla, like just trading it in general, because it's a very volatile stock. Elon Musk, we know how he is, but the premiums were too good to let up, especially at the ranges that I was looking at. Like, we are outside of the Bollinger Bands here, and I was selling at the 295 strike because I figured it probably wouldn't break above 270, and then, you know, Bollinger Bands 287 at the most. So I felt really safe with the 295 strike, and it has played out really well. And on that one, I received a $9 premium, which was great because, you know, I was slowly trying to build it back, and there was only one credit spread. So if I took two, that's $18. And eventually it'll eventually be like that. But you see, this is in an uptrend. And on Monday, when is it? Yeah, today it took a dip, and then it was showing downwards, which is why I decided to go with the call. But however, it's regained some of its lost momentum here. But this is why I go super out of the money, because people, I'm not even going to get started, bro. That's a whole separate video. But yeah, the 4 stocks that I traded this week, and let's just do a quick addition, because I'm like really bad at math here. 9 plus 6 plus 8 plus 4, yeah, $27. Oh shit, 29 if we count this. I almost forgot to count that. So I'm gonna let all of this expire worthless tomorrow, which I'm a little worried about. You never know how the market changes, but theta decay, because let's take a look at gamma on some of the options. Yeah, let's look at Tesla's gamma, because I made sure that the gamma was like below 0.3, if I recall. Gamma, yeah, so this was only 0.1. Okay, yeah, no, I lied. I made sure that gamma was less than like 0.9, 0.8. But yeah, almost there with this one too. And yeah, I'm still reading the book on technical analysis, learning a lot. You know, up 2% year to date. Would have been, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm a little just reminiscing a little bit on how I could have been up 3 or 4% right now if I didn't chase the high premiums last week. But you know, I'm glad that it happened very early on instead of being very late. I'm glad you know, I'm glad this happened on my second week of trading options, because bro, you feel me? I also want to rework some of this stuff here. And, you know, this weekend would have been the ideal time to do it, but we're going to Las Vegas anyway. Yeah, but otherwise, that's how the journey has been so far. It's not growing at the pace that I'd like it to, like just solid cash wise, because I was projecting to make at least $700 every week from a job that I was supposed to start, and then, you know, $600 every week into this brokerage, which would allow me to open up more spreads, and then, you know, I'd keep the other $100 for myself to spend money on, happy money, but still no job. So this is literally my only source of revenue. But I do have a job position interview next week. We'll see how that goes. They won't know that I'll be heading to college in like 2 months. So yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this video. Oh, and I also started using Forex Factor. I finally found the website after searching for it on TikTok. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something here, learned something new. I think I might upload a video on Tuesday just to update you guys on how like all the expired ones went. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, learned something new, and yeah, I'll catch y'all next time.